Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Sir Ralph Kohn, who has very generously underpinned all of the costs for the competition.
Thank you very much, John. My friends, after the privilege of hearing such magnificent singing this evening, everything that follows must be an anticlimax, except, of course, the revelation on whom to bestow the laurel wreaths and proclaim as our new Meistersinger. For that, I shall have to keep you in suspense a little longer and invite the chairman of our jury and director of the Wigmore, John Gilhooly, to take you out of your misery. It has been a hard day's night to recall one of the Beatles' famous songs, but you will all agree that it has been an exhilarating day's night with an embarrassment of riches, of vocal riches, on display. It is my pleasurable task to thank all those who have contributed so much to make this unique event possible. First and foremost, of course, I wish to express our admiration to all those brave and worthy young artists, vocalists and pianists who have come from far and wide to participate in this baptism of fire, for it is no mean feat to sing in this world-famous hall where the greatest musicians have appeared for more than a century. To have sung in diesen heiligen Hallen, to quote Sarastro, is already a passport to recognition. And to have reached the finals is an achievement which will be well rewarded in future engagements. And John Gilhooly might even offer the winners a Wigmore recital in due course. Winston Churchill, whilst addressing the nation during the war in 1943 regarding the rebuilding of the severely damaged Houses of Parliament, made the following statement: "First, we shape our buildings, then they shape us. The buildings we design directly influences the way in which we live our lives. They direct the way in which we engage with our social values and educational, spiritual, and musical needs. The Wigmore is a prime example for us to cherish as one of the world's outstanding chamber music halls with its quite unique acoustics and atmosphere. But my friends, let me remind you that the Wigmore is also a renowned medical scientific institution. A carefully controlled clinical trial was carried out here about 40 years ago when a new type of drug, the beta blockers, some of you may have heard of them, and in all probability some of you are even taking them, to establish its effects on a group of string players. The results duly published in a medical journal showed that those given the drug did significantly better as far as general performance, vibrato, and intonation was concerned than those on dummy tablets. A marvelous example of the linkage of the Wigmore, medical sciences, and music. Now you will appreciate why I feel so very much at home here. Our biannual song competition, which resulted from the combined dedicated efforts of Graham Johnson and Bill Ine and myself, which have now been well established since their inception 14 years ago, serve both music and poetry at the highest level of excellence. They must not be confused with a Turandot-style event where, if you fail to win, you pay for it with your head, and you will have sung your last Nessun Dormo. We have identified outstanding artists, some of whom are now in the process of establishing distinguished careers. What message could I give to all our young artists after this ordeal? Well, recently I was invited by the Vice-Chancellor of one of our universities to speak at a prize-giving ceremony, and he asked me if I could give a stirring message to the students for the occasion. I didn't quite know what I had to do to come up with a stirring message, but I was reminded of the saying by the distinguished Nobel Prize-winning scientist Sir Lawrence Bragg, who said, "If you go on hammering away at a problem, it seems to get tired of you, lies down and lets you catch it." Well, the word stirring triggered off a thought process which led me to the sterling saying. You remember the British racing driver Stirling Moss, who once famously declared, "If you think you have everything under control, it simply means you are not driving fast enough." My message this evening to all the participants in the competition would be, you are now developing what we all hope will be successful careers, but it will require a great deal of further sustained effort to reach the top of the profession, as you are of course well aware. If you always look upwards, you will quickly discover that the distance to the stars is infinite. You can never drive fast enough, but you will cover great distances, and in the process you will delight us all with your superb artistry. We have once again enjoyed the participation of a most erudite and hand-picked jury, headed by our distinguished director, John Gilhooly, who have all given, in addition to their jury duties, their time privately to advise some of the competitors on their performance and other guidance for their future careers. As I was a non-voting member of the jury, I had all the pleasure and none of the responsibilities. This is, I suppose, a reflection how I have always tried to lead my life. Our gratitude and thanks to all the most welcoming staff at the Wigmore, and especially Helen Granger, who's worked so excellently and enthusiastically and tirelessly, together with my colleague Vivian Kemeny, to ensure the smooth running of the event. My friends, it's all well and good to run a competition, but without the ever-faithful, knowledgeable, and enthusiastic audience's wholehearted support, it would not be the success it has been since we started in 1997. The Wigmore audience is very special, and you have our sincerest thanks and gratitude for being part of our hopes and aspirations. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, may I invite John to disclose what the wise men and women of the jury have decided, and who knows, some of you might even agree with what they've decided.
Thank you very much indeed, Sir Ralph, for all that you do for us. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an incredible week, and one thing is for certain, the art of the song recital is alive and flourishing, not only here in Wigmore Street, but throughout the world. We've been deeply impressed with the standard of performance heard throughout the competition, and we thank all the competitors for giving us such joy. And so to the prizes and the winners. Firstly, the Jean Meikle Prize for a duo, presented in memory of Jean Meikle Drake, a well-known member of our audience who influenced the early careers of many singers and pianists over the years. Lydia Drake, Jean Meikle's granddaughter, will present the prize on behalf of the Drake family. And the Jean Meikle Prize goes to Jonathan McGovern and Timothy End. The jury have asked me to commend Anna Huntley and John Reid, who were also very highly considered for this particular The Pianist's Prize. This year it will be awarded jointly to two pianists, Timothy End and Jonathan Ware. on to the singers' prizes. Third prize for singers to the mezzo-soprano Dorothea Lang. Second prize to the tenor Stuart Jackson. And first prize to the baritone, Dominic Kerniger. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you here in 2 years' time.